We want to welcome back Pastor Darren Jaime of the People's AME Zion Church tonight. Pastor Jaime, thanks for being here.
Glad to be here.
So much has happened since the last time we talked, Pastor Jaime. A big rally is planned for tomorrow in the city of Syracuse. What are your hopes for that and your concerns?
Well, I mean, we have great hope. We have great hope that the awareness continues in the area. You're looking at the death of George Floyd, but anybody who thinks it's solely about the death of George Floyd has really missed the bigger picture. For a long time, there have been tragedies involving unarmed men of color and communities of color that have resulted in their death. And so as you see people taking to the streets, it's a frustration in the death of George Floyd, which we saw so blatantly, his life snuffed out on video. But even more than that, it's about the continued injustice that goes against communities of color, and particularly in the area of law enforcement.
And as we watch these demonstrations, maybe we can go back to that live picture of the march that's happening right now, and we'll take a look at the crowd if we can. Such a diverse crowd and young too. What are your impressions of that?
Well, I think the young people are leading the movement. I think they have a lot of energy, and it's important for us to see that it's not just a particular demographic, it's our whole community. It's not just blacks, it's whites, it's Hispanics, it's Asians, it's Indians. People are saying enough is enough. When you watch the death of George Floyd in video, I think it became really graphic to people that you can watch for 8 minutes and 46 seconds a man have his knee into the neck of a person that's handcuffed and restrained. What more do you need to see? And so I think there's outrage, I think there's disgust, and I think there are people out there who are saying, listen, we affirm the fact that this is wrong, we affirm the fact that it's illegal, and most of all, that it's murder.
Right, and people are calling for change, and Governor Cuomo says the state is looking to pass what he calls significant police reform legislation next week, including the Say Their Name legislation. Is that enough? Is that significant?
Well, when you look at the governor's legislation, I do applaud the legislation. There's a whole lot more that's attached to the legislation when you really take a look. You have the 58 clause, which is talking about, say, the names of officers who've had bad disciplinary records, that the public should be entitled to know that. It also deals with illegal chokeholds, and we've seen that in the case of Eric Garner in New York. We've seen that across the United States, banning illegal chokeholds, and that's important as well. And then you talk about 911 calls, the race-based 911 calls, the calls that happen when you're out barbecuing, and it's called barbecuing while black, or you're at a hotel and you're getting called, the police are getting called on when you're actually, staying at the hotel, or just recently what you saw in Central Park. So there is something, because what people don't recognize is when law enforcement sometimes is engaged in one of these calls, it could go wrong. And we've seen where things have gone wrong. And so something needs to be done. And I applaud the governor for at least taking some appropriate action and moving the steps forward.
All right. And let's talk about some of the images we've been seeing. So many police officers in riot gear clashing with protesters, proliferating across the country. But then here in central New York, a different theme emerging in Syracuse yesterday. The mayor, Ben Walsh, joining the marchers, taking a knee with the protesters, and the local police chiefs marching alongside the protesters. How important are these images right now?
Yeah, Christy, I think it's important, because what happens is we've fallen for the misnomer that you can be either pro-police, you can be pro-police, right? You can be pro-police and anti-police brutality. It's not either or, it's both and. So the people that are out there right now, there are a lot of great people, and we support police that are doing their job, but you cannot be pro-police and not have a voice when it becomes to being anti-police brutality. And so everybody recognizes that. And so from local government, police officers themselves, high-ranking police officers are taking to the streets and saying, listen, we understand that if we're ever going to, flatten this curve, it's important for us to really come together and to be as one. So I really applaud government officials. I applaud police commissioners and police officers, because it really is a partnership. There's some great officers out there doing their job, but we also have to hold accountable the ones that are doing these heinous crimes, such as we saw in the death of George Floyd.
All right, one more question for you, if we could just wrap this up. George Floyd's death had a tremendous impact on people's consciousness. If you could just take a moment now, please share your thoughts on where we're at and where we can and where we should be.
Yeah, well, really quickly, I think that we can still work together. I think that George Floyd's death showed that what coming together can do and what we can do as a community in order to change some policies and practices that have gone wrong. So I think that we need to come together and work together on the policies and practices that are really affecting communities of color. And I think beyond that, it just can't end when the protests end and when the marches end. We have to keep moving forward. We have to stay at the table and we have to work these issues out and not just wait until the next time it happens for us to be coming back out again and having these conversations.
All right, Pastor Jaime, always good to talk to you. We so appreciate you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks much.
For more information on the protests, including New York police reform outlined by the governor today, if you want to see more details, head to localesquire.com or the News Channel 9 app.